Don't you know? Pump it up. Oh, slowly. Oh! Whoa! Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to do a couple of services on the Mini, some minor services really, mostly filters and also spark plugs, and I will do a tiny upgrade which is changing the light bulbs from the front because they are kind of yellowish right now and I want to use blue cool lights for it instead. For the filters, namely the air filter and the pollen filter, I will be using the brand RIDEX because I've used them in the past and they worked fine and they're cheap, so that's good. And for the spark plugs, I'm using the NGK spark plugs, which work really well as well. I've used them before, never had issues with them, so I'll be using them again. And for the light, I'm using the Osram W5W with a cool blue intense version kind of, because I've used them before as well and I like them a lot. And the only reason I now have yellow lights is because some mechanic changed them without my permission. So now I'm going to change them back. So yeah. Tools wise, I will be using 2 torque wrenches, one for the wheels and one for the spark plugs. I will also be using a specific socket, which is a 14mm socket. It's a Bihex spark plug socket. It's a very specific one with a magnet inside, so you can easily remove the spark plugs. So if you're going to be doing this, you do need that socket. Also some metal tool that I will use to remove the cover of the light bulb, which you will see in a second. And a couple of Torx sockets, because BMW and Mini really like to use Torx bolts. So I have a whole set of that. Yeah, and I also have a new jack, which is really cool. I spent a lot of money on it. It's super cool, and I'll be excited to use it today. So yeah, I will start off with the spark plugs today, and if you have a Mini Cooper S, you should know that they should be changed in a 24-month interval. If you have a John Cooper Works, it should be changed every 12 months, so same as oil. I'm changing them now, even though they're not quite due for me yet. I think I've had them in since 1.5 years, simply because I want to. I would like to keep them fresh, so yeah. These are the ones that I'm using today. I will put the part numbers and everything in the description, so if you want the same ones, you can get them. Okay, so let's pop the hood and we shall start. Number 1, 2. So now we can see the spark plugs inside there. This is where this tool comes in really handy. It's a 14mm spark plug socket. As you can see, it's Bihex, so the inside looks like this. And it has a magnet inside so that I can easily pull out the spark plugs. So yeah, I'm just using a smaller torque wrench to take them out. And there you go. As you can see, it's well used, but it's not in bad condition at all, and it's not wet. So that's good news. Yeah. So this is what the old ones look like, and this is what the new one looks like. for the next step, we have to use 27 Newton meters, or 27 Newton meters, which I don't know how much that is in foot-pound of torque. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Anyways, and we shall just pop the new ones in. So yeah. Here we go. The next step will be changing the air filter, and I think I will take off the mass airflow sensor first and take off this part so I can more easily access the air filter box. And then there's just 3 of these Torx screws. I think they're T25s. So just loosen them up. So they just stay on there. Doesn't look so... okay. Doesn't look too horrible. But I haven't replaced it ever. So, clean that up and then replace it. So this is what the new one looks like. Oh, nice and fresh. In with the new one. First 2 done. Okay, to change the pollen filter, we have to be on the passenger side of the Mini. And if we just look underneath here, you can see this box. And inside the box is the pollen filter. So it's really easy to change. All you really need is a flathead screwdriver. And then you can basically just pop it out. So I'll show you how that works in a minute. So if you see these 2 sort of flaps, this side and this side, if you just put your flathead screwdriver in there and pop it up, you can basically get it loose and the flap will open. And then inside you can see the pollen filter. So you can just pull it out. Now you can see, sort of see, I don't know what it looks like in there, but it has this kind of part, so you know it's supposed to be put in like in an S shape. So yeah, and this is what it looks like. It's not extremely dirty, but time to replace it. So this is the new pollen filter. It looks the same. So, yeah. Now this is nothing that you need for the engine, obviously. It's only for the airco, for the inside of the car. But if you do have stinky air or something coming out from your airco, you will know it's because of a pollen filter. I don't, but yeah, it's always good to change these parts. Also, it's super easy, so you might as well do it yourself instead of paying a mechanic, I don't know how much money, to do it for you. Okay, so I think that this grayer part, if you compare the front and the back, I think that this white part is the inside. So you should bring it up from this side. So I'll just try to squeeze it in there. So it looked the same when I opened it. It's kind of sticking out a little bit, but yeah. And then we just close it up. And that was it. That's how quickly you can change your pollen filter. So just do it yourself, really. The last thing I will be changing today on the Mini are the lights, namely because they are currently quite yellow and I want them to be nice and white because they are better also if they're white, and it just looks way better too. But in reality it's just an excuse to use my new jack stand, so we can see how well it works. Yeah. So this is what the light looks like before. As you can see, it's really yellow and not looking good. Nice. Now you can see this part, this is the plastic cover. This one's for the upper headlight, but this is the lower headlight, and we're doing the lower one. And I have this tool, which has these two knobs on it, so you can kind of catch on to the plastic part here and more easily remove it. So simply by twisting, you can take off the plastic cover. When you have the upper bulb, you just twist it to take it out. And now when I take out this light bulb, you can see
yes.
This is not a nice headlight, so okay, and I'll just check whether it works real quick. Put this back on. Can you see the difference? Okay, now I will test to see if the car is actually working or if I screwed up something.